Hey everybody, Ruan here from Tunnel Vision TV, and today I'm going to show you guys how to create a Southpark style vector animation using After Effects and also Adobe Illustrator. So first of all, I'm going to show you this website called sp-studio.de. This is where you can create some Southpark characters. So we're just going to create a very simple character. So once you're here, you're going to start with the skin, and you just click the skin icon there and choose a color. So let's just choose a color here, and then we're going to go to some hair, click on anything here. I'm just going to create something really simple, create a color or choose a color, and then let's add some eyes, just some basic eyes for now, and a mouth. That one should do. Let's go to shirt, let's go to freestyle collection, and let's just select something really simple and select a color, and we're going to go to legs and select some shoes and also some pants. Let's make that blue. There we go. So a very simple character. Maybe we can just add some different style hands to this. Let's make it dark blue. So there we go, we've got a very simple character, and now we're going to save this as an image. Just click OK, and this is going to download to your download folder, and I'm just going to open that in Finder, and I'm going to copy that into my working folder. Alright, so from here, let me just show you guys, that's the picture we have. So from here we're going to convert this into a vector image, and then from there we'll take it into After Effects. So I'm going to go into Adobe Illustrator, and I'm just going to create a new project. The default settings should be fine. I'm using 600 by 600 pixels. Click on OK, and then we're going to go to File and then Place, and I'm going to load that image that we just saved. Okay, just click on Place, and here at the top I'm going to click on Image Trace, and it's going to try and trace the image for you, and here by preset I'm just going to select low fidelity photo. There we go. So very simple stuff, and then you're going to click on expand here to change this into vectors. Okay, so the next step is you want to break this into different layers, all the different things of the character that you want to animate. So if you want to animate the eyes or just the eyeballs, you have to put that on a separate layer. If you want to animate the head, you have to put that onto a separate layer as well. So let's do that quickly. So you'll see everything's under a group for now. So we're just going to select everything and drag it into the layer, because we don't want to have a group there. And we're going to create a new layer. And for the first thing that I'm going to separate is I'm going to try and select the eyes, or just the eyeballs actually. So I'm going to click on the first one, second one, and I'm going to right click, and I'll just go group, and that will put it into a separate group for me. So I'm going to highlight both the eyeballs, drag them into a separate layer, and what you can even do, you can put them onto different layers. So you can have one eyeball in the one layer and one in the other. And let's just rename these layers. So that's the right eyeball. So I'm just going to rename this one and call it R eyeball. And this one I'll rename to L eyeball. Okay, there we go. So let's just zoom out here again. Next up, I want to maybe oh, you'll also see that there's another vector image around this thing that we want to delete. So if you click this, you delete, it will get rid of that image around, or the white space around your character. What you want to do next is we want to try and separate the head as well. So I'm going to try and highlight the head without selecting anything else. And then we also want to deselect the eyeballs because they're already on their own layer. So if we move this, it will only move the head without the eyeballs. So I'm going to right click and group those as well, create a new layer, and then get the head from here, from the group, and put it into that layer there. So we can see that's the head. Let me just zoom out a bit. So that's the head, and we've got the eyeballs, and then the body is separate. So you can carry on, and you can do the arms as well. You can do some cutouts here, you can do the arms, you can do the legs, you can do the mouth. Anything that you want to animate afterwards, you have to put onto separate layers. But for this tutorial, I'll just show you these 4 layers. So let's rename this one. This will be the head, and let's just call this one body. Okay, so now I'm just going to make the canvas a bit smaller. So you can click on Document Setup and Edit Artboards, and then just drag this to kind of fit your character, like so. And then we're ready to go into After Effects. So from here, I'm just going to go File and Save As, and we just want to save this into my working folder, and I'm just going to call this Dude1. There we go, and it's going to save it as an Illustrator AI file. So click on Save, and then OK, and we are done with that. I'm just going to close Illustrator down, and I'm going to jump into After Effects. Right, so in After Effects, we're going to create a new composition. Let's just make this HD. There we go, 30 seconds, that's fine. Right, and then we're going to right-click, import file, and we're going to go to the working folder, and I'm going to select the AI file, and then very importantly at the bottom where it says import as, change that to composition, retain layer sizes, and then we click on open and we drag that into our composition. So let's just create a solid background for now. Let's just make it like a dark gray. That should be fine. So obviously you can import some background pictures or vector background images. That will help a lot. So what we're going to do is, first of all, you want to make this a 3D layer because we're going to add some camera movement to this. And also very important, this little button here for comp layer collapse transformations for vector layer continuously rasterize. So we want to enable this. This will tell it that this is a vector image. And very importantly, if you go into this composition, you want to enable that for all the layers and also make all of them 3D. Then if we go out and we create a camera, that's fine. And if we track closer, you'll see that it's not going to lose any quality, which is really cool for doing animation like vector animations. So now it's really simple. You can basically now go ahead and add some movement to your characters. So let's just change the position for this one, create a keyframe, go to like 4 seconds, make him go this way. There we go. So that's a very simple little animation to the side. If you want to add some rotation to him as well, we'll enable a rotation, and it will probably be the Z rotation that we want to add. So before we do that, we want to change the pivot point. So just click on the pan behind tool and change the pivot tool to around there. Let's just move that position point down. Because we moved the pivot point afterwards, we have to do this. So you actually need to move the pivot point first before you do any animation. Right, so let's enable rotation again, and we're just going to add some rotation on the Z axis. So let's just create some keyframes here. There we go. You can also use wiggle for this, but for this tutorial I'll just put in some manual keyframes like so, and there we can change it back to 0. So now we've got a little bit of a rotation movement as well. Okay, and next up, if we want to animate, say, the head on the character, we'll go into that composition. So you'll double click, and for the head I'm just going to create like a wiggle rotation. So first of all, I'm going to click on pan behind and change the pivot to around here. So if we look at the rotation, it should kind of rotate around that area. And very importantly, as you can see, the eyeballs are not really following along, so we need to parent them to the head. Okay, like that, and then they should follow along. So I'm just going to make a very slight wiggle on the Z rotation. So I'm going to alt click on that, type wiggle, Let's just make it 3,4 maybe, very slightly. There we go. So if we go to our main comp and we play this back, you'll see that the head will actually have some wiggle movement in that. Okay, so say you want to animate the eyeballs where he actually stops around here. You can double click on that again, on that character, go to your eyeballs. That sounded quite interesting. Go to the eyeballs, and then let's just add some position keyframes here, and I'm gonna move them both maybe that way, and then maybe that way again, and let's take them back to the center, somewhere around there. Okay, so we get that movement. So if we go back to our main comp, he's going to walk up to that point, and then the animation for the eyeballs will kick in, go back to the center, and there we go. So obviously now you can animate your camera as well. So if we want to just track inwards or outwards, we can do that. So at the beginning, we can maybe start somewhere here, and let's just add a keyframe there, go forward to around 4 seconds. Let's track out to around there, and there you go. There's your vector animation. So obviously you will add your backgrounds. You can bring in some other vector characters or props or whatever, put them all into your scene. Make sure you enable that little box, and then you will be good to go to start animating and do some awesome cartoons with in After Effects, and also using Illustrator. Cool, so I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel, it really helps a lot, and I'll see you guys next time.